G'day, bird nerds. How are you? And wildlife gardeners. Oh, that's not supposed to be happening. Bear with me. That's better. Oh, but I'm still getting two. What's going on? What's going on? Let's go here. Oh, sorry, folks. Let's just get these off. How's that? No, still got two. How's that? No, still got two. That's not good. Oh, maybe it's this. Do not know. Do not know. Oh no, don't tell me. Can you all hear me alright? Maybe I need to do that. Gee. Setting up these multiple streams has been a nightmare. Gee, I think I'm going to have to kill this. This is... What is it that's doing this? One, two, no. Oh, look, sorry, folks. I'm pulling the pin. Something's wrong. And I can't. Especially sorry to the person on Twitch who's sticking with me. Glenn, I'm getting a terrible feedback. Maybe we'll just keep going. Let me look at that. Let me look at that. No, that could be it. No. God, it was all working when I tested it while I was watching the Olympics. Is that any better? No, that's not any better. Well, we'll stick with that. I've got rid of what was annoying me. Have you seen my friend here this morning? Have you seen the new background? There we go. Come on, Loz, come over and say hello. Come on. Come on. Here he comes. There we are. Loz is with me this morning. I thought today, look, I've played around with. Oh, am I locked up on this one? No, I'm not. So it's just here. What's going on there? Why is that? That's weird. We'll just stick with this today, will we? Is that one working? That one seems to be working. Let's Yes, that one's working. Weird. That one's working. Yes, that one's working, isn't it? Yes. Just here. Anyway, gardeners, Glenn, what's going on in Sydney this morning? I'm in Melbourne, Wurundjeri country, and it is. Come on. It is. It is cold, but quite clear, and Loz is going to drive me mad this morning. All right, let me get over to what I wanted to let you know. How about I race through the valuable content, and then we will just have some fun. All right, what's the best thing you can do instantly in your wildlife or habitat garden today? And if you don't have water in your garden, that's the first thing you can do. Provide some water. I would recommend that you provide a number of different points of water. I'm getting the evil eye from Loz. And shallow, deep, shaded, out in the open, or somewhere with protection. Different organisms, different critters are going to have a different preference for where your the water placement is. So a shallow saucer or bird bath is a good place to start. And if you want to bring in lizards and frogs, you might want to have somewhere with a bit more cover, a bit more protection, protect them from predators. And you can improvise so many different things. You will have something lying around your place that you can use. So the first thing would be water. If you have the space and the inclination, you can build a pond, and then you can add things like fish, and then you might get things like tadpoles, and you might get Loz. Can you see what Loz does to me? Being a lorikeets do, or is it this? No, it's this shoulder, isn't it? Loz can be messy. So yes, please consider popping in some water. The next thing that you can do, and look, water needs to be the first thing, because you're not going to get animals taking up residence in your garden if they don't have access to water. Glenn's telling me, what is it? Sound and video is okay. Good, thank you. Yeah, the video should be good. I played around with a lot of stuff. Oh, good on you, Loz. Backgrounds and linking things up and whatnot. I was up watching the Olympics. Did anyone watch the opening ceremony? I was totally underwhelmed with it. So then I came in and just started playing around with this. I still cannot get the vertical streams to run while I'm running the horizontal streams. So no vertical streams, no Instagram this morning. But we'll keep working on that. Loz, what are you doing? Don't bite me like that. Now, raining in Sydney. Got about another hour of it. Sitting in the car, photographing out the window. A pelican here today, Glenn says. Now, Glenn, I was thinking about throwing in as a topic for this morning the most unusual thing you've seen in your garden. Now, I'm pretty sure you haven't seen a pelican in your garden. But a pelican at the Botanic Gardens at Mount Adam in Western Sydney, that's a pretty good get. I had yesterday a silver gull hanging around. Didn't actually come into the garden unit, the unit garden here, but it was just outside the front door. That's probably the most unusual thing I've had pop up at my place, other than this fella, the lorikeet, taking up residence. Of course, Loz was rainbow lorikeets are not unusual here, but having one that decided to live here, very unusual. Okay, let me say what is next. I guess the other thing I would like to mention about water is you can provide it in ways that are not obvious. It does not need to be a container. If you are looking at providing water for very small or very small creatures, just increasing humidity, adding shade, having large leaves, anything that can increase your humidity, having a shade house and letting insects continue to live in there rather than killing everything is another way to promote. Isn't that funny? Loz is invisible when I've got the green screen on. I might ditch the green screen soon and just go with my very boring background wall. What else has Glenn seen at the gardens? Eastern whipbird, that's always a good one. Brown goshawk feeding on a spotted dove. That's unfortunate for the spotted dove, but very good for the brown goshawk. Glenn, how's your confidence in determining a spotted dove from a collared sparrowhawk? We can always have that discussion. Now, the next simple thing you can do is just add anything that will give a small critter shelter. And you're wanting to replicate things like crevices and ledges, overhangs. And I know we've talked about this before. You can, if you've just got if you find some hollow log, small hollow branch, you can use that. If you find rolled up bark, you know how when gums particularly can drop long strands of bark and it can roll up. That's fine. Insects, arthropods, spiders, lizards, skinks will use that. Some other animals will require something that will protect them from heat. So if you've got old roof tiles or pavers lying around, pop a rock down, lean them against the top of the rock, and there you create a space. Obviously for rodents, well, let's say we don't want rodents in Australia. Let's say we would like some marsupials, possums, or antechinus, or I don't know, any of the other small, tiny macropods. They'll make use of small spaces. They might even build a burrow, as long as they have a protected entrance. So all sorts of junk can become really valuable in your garden. Glenn's giving us an update on the pretty good with both the brown goshawk and the collared sparrowhawk. Yeah, the long toe. Yeah, if you can get a good look at the long middle toe for the collared sparrowhawk, definitely. The skinny legs is often a good one, and if you're in flight, you want to be able to see the tail squared versus rounded. I have trouble with the stare when people talk about the stare. I think they're both pretty ferocious. Okay. Things like wood piles, apart from old roof tiles and pavers, Besser blocks, breeze blocks, whatever you want to call them, they're all really useful. But so is creating a wood pile or a little log pile. Perfect for small creatures. So give that a go. The next thing, if you want to be a bit more formal, a bit more structured in what you provide, Glenn, before we get to there, Glenn says, re the backyard, 2 large water dishes, a hollow log on the ground. Under the large sandstone boulders, I put a few PVC pipes under the rocks. There are plenty of skinks around the blue tongue as well. Yeah. Pipe offsets in all sorts of diameters are fantastic. And you can, as Glenn's done, disguise them so you don't see the PVC that can look unsightly if you are going for a completely natural look. Hide them behind something else, as Glenn has done. Glenn has also used dry sticks around the stone dry creek bed. And of course, you can check out. We did a long episode featuring Glenn's garden. You can find that in the archives on the Bird Emergency channel, and we'll be uploading that in the near future to the Habitat Gardening channel as well. So, bird nest boxes, possum boxes, bat boxes, bee hotels, frog hotels, all of these kind of structures are very they're readily available. I won't recommend particular ones today, but of course we have talked about habitat innovation many times over the course of the years on the Bird Emergency, and they have structures for mammals, for birds, for bats. They even have dens like for ground dependent, ground burrowing animals as well. So check that out. What I'm going to do a whole show and a whole couple of videos on those structures. But today I just want to hear your thoughts or your comments. When it comes to bird boxes, there are specific designs that will attract or suit specific species. So always bear that in mind. And the same with bat boxes. It's a specialised field, but there's lots of information available out there, and I think I'll do a Substack about all of those. And then the next thing is plants. Oh, look, that's a lorikeet looking into the camera. Good on you, Loz. You're getting a bit bored, are you? So yeah, please do go and Loz. Uh, Now, Glenn, you've got a frog hotel. I know you mentioned on the show the other day. Oh, well done, Loz. You slipped off trying to land on the camera, and he slipped off. Have you got a bee hotel or anything similar? Um, and and the other thing when we're talking about structures that are easy to do, you can if you don't have eaves, uh, build build something with some overhang so that birds like swallows and martins get the opportunity to take advantage of your garden. Good morning, Facebook. Hello again, Twitch. It's nice to see you. Now I turned the Twitch off. I might open Twitch up again and see if I can manage the. Just bear with me while we jump into Twitch dashboard. Here we go. Okay, there we are. Okay, I've got my Twitch dashboard open as well. All right. Can you all see Loz? He's sitting on the microphone again. Where am I up to? Plants. Now, plant selection is difficult. But if you have a good local nursery, you can generally. Oh, Loz, you've done terrible things to me. Look at this. That's what he does. You can get some really good recommendations. A good plant reference book will help you if you are able to get the Australian native plants, a handbook to the cultivation, I think, and propagation of Australian native plants by John Wrigley and Murray Fagg. Look out for that. That's a ripper. Otherwise, drop me a line and tell me about your situation, and I'll be happy to tell you or to recommend something for your area. Glenn, good stuff. Oh, you've got a. I didn't realise you had a nest box up for the Pardalite. So Glenn's got no bee hotel. I think a bee hotel is a really interesting thing if you have native bees around your place. I've been looking recently, looking for to see if I've got native bees around. I haven't seen any, but some of my neighbours have bee hotels. The pretty stock standard ones that you can buy at some of the garden centres and nursery hardware outlets. Now with the Pardalite box up with no luck. Used to have a microbat box up, no luck. One thing while I was doing the research, Glenn, into boxes, the different kinds of boxes that you can use, bat boxes seem to be poorly used in gardens. Certainly in southern Australia. There's some evidence that it's a little bit different in the north of Australia, but I've reached out to some bat groups, and hopefully we'll have some discussions with them on a future stream. Still trying to get a frog expert, a frog gardening expert, on to talk to us as well, but. There's plenty of frog biology people around, but not so many who are confident to talk about gardening as well. But we'll see where we can go. I really want to show off all my new. Not there. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just trying to work out why is there no the videos there? So you're seeing the video? Yes, that's good. Okay, text. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this. Maybe that's what is. Here we are. Oh, I know why. There we are. Let's try this. Oh, there we are. It's back to working. That's what I was looking for. Okay, fantastic. Back to here. There we are. There we are. Been playing around with those things, and Loz is disturbing me because he's picking at the camera. Come here. Come on. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. That's it. There we are. I'd prefer it when he's on my head. I deliberately haven't talked about feeding birds today. It's always best to encourage birds in with natural food. And that really comes down to plants and then providing habitat for insects so that they will come in. Glenn, since you're here and giving me lots of information, how's the sound level coming up, showing up there? Looks okay on my indicators, but I'm not hearing myself. I know what I want to do, don't I? I want to look at filters. That's what I want to look at. Did I just get louder, Glenn? Tell me that. Did I just get louder? And if I did, is it better? Oh, hello, Janice. How are you? Nice to see you. Let me get back up here. And if I go to here, how's that? Did the audio level improve just then? I would be interested to know that. I've just played around with something. How's things, Janice? What's going on? Great. Thanks, Glenn, for that. Yeah, Loz, you're a very funny bird. There we are. Now over to a different one. I've got his playground in here, and he's not interested. He just wants to hang out with me. But I guess that's what pet parrots do, don't they? Oh, coming over. Come on. He tried to land on the light again. Janice, what's happening up in your neck of the woods? Give us some feedback on your garden. Well, let's go back to there. Do you like my little Do you like what I've done with the video? I can see that it's the colour correction's not too flash using the green screen on the stream by the look of it. Have to work on that. Go back there. That's enough cycling through there. Okay. So nobody said they were watching the Olympics. Well, that was on very, very early and at a pretty dumb time, wasn't it? How dare France not be in line with our time zone here? Yeah. Janice, have you? Let us know. Let us know what's going on in your garden. I'm interested to know. I know what Glenn's been doing. I'm still happy to see that there's some Twitch action going on. Okay. Janice, so much clearing taking place in my neighbourhood for the Coomera connector development. I'm hearing lots of unusual birds in my yard, which I put down to that. So are you having any luck, Janice, identifying what those birds are? And are you seeing clearing that is extra to the road development? I went on a bit of a rant last week about the clearing that I'm seeing around here of it's not wholesale clearing, but mature trees being removed, which is just driving me nuts. Because birds need mature trees. I went out for a walk, even though it was raining, yesterday as well, and they're still removing undergrowth from a lot, or the understory from several of the local parks, which again means that small birds, everyone's favourite, the fairy wrens and the things like scrub wrens, and even the down here, the eastern yellow robin. But I guess depending on where you live, you've got lots of different birds that can fit that bill. They've got nowhere to hang out. Oh, Loz. Is he too distracting for you this morning? Very hard for me to focus while he's flying around in front of my face. Isn't that right? Before we went live, he did a really good display. He was on my head and he did his dance and was telling me that he loved me, but he gets camera shy once we get going. Come on. Yeah, Janice, I'd love to know if you have been able to identify the bird calls that you are getting in your garden. The new birds, and if you check out any of the resources like eBird or any of the apps the bird ID apps that are available to help you with that. Janice, I don't know if you were on earlier, and Glenn mentioned that the most unusual bird he's seen at the Botanic Gardens this morning was a pelican. We had a silver gull here in the front yard yesterday, and it stayed around. It stayed around the park for an hour or so. Also yesterday, something I hadn't seen before was galahs on the tall upright conifers, cypresses. They're fruiting now. There's immature fruits, and the galahs had been on those. Now I've seen lorikeets, I've seen corellas, both long-billed and little corellas on them. So that was something new, seeing galahs on them. So Janice telling us more about the clearing for the major project, the Coomera Connector, in the Gold Coast. That's the disappointing thing, isn't it? I mean, to keep costs down, they just go from edge to edge and they just destroy everything. So for the Gold Coast at the moment, for that whole region, where are you, Loz? Behind me. Okay. There is going to be a lot of displaced bird life and other wildlife, but for a lot of small animals, they're just lost. So if they're not capable of moving out of that area and establishing somewhere else, and of course the somewhere else has to not be the territory of another critter, competitor critter. It's very, very difficult, and that's why everyone's garden and all public space becomes an increasingly valuable public asset. But not only in aesthetic terms, but to preserve biodiversity. Oh, good on you, Loz. Come over here and do that. Come on. Come on. Come on, do your dance again. Okay, I'm going to throw it open just for more general garden comments or questions, if anyone's got any. Bush stone curlews. Janice has had bush stone curlews, honey eaters. Now they're the difficult if you're not familiar with all of them. Pale-headed rosellas. Well, that's a win in your area, I would think. Are you hearing the sort of bell whistle contact call? Are they trying to make contact with each other while they're scouting out new locations? And a few raptors. Well, what raptors have you been seeing? Glenn had mentioned the brown goshawk eating a spotted dove. Loz is getting very he's getting very uptight. Can you hear Loz? There we are. Did you hear that? I hope you can hear him. There we go. He's given you a couple of renditions of his "I love you," which I didn't teach him. I certainly. So in his previous life, he or she was taught to say "I love you." I think I taught him that whistle because I was giving him and I think he was doing kisses before he came here, but I've certainly encouraged the kisses. Come on, step up. Janice saying that pale-headed rosellas are her favourite. PHRs, that's Australian bird nerd shorthand for pale-headed rosellas. My absolute favourite. So doing the full repertoire, but mainly the bell contact call. Yeah, that's if they're searching out new places to live, you'll hear a lot of those contact calls for the rosellas. Rose Wise Mantel. Hello, Rose. Welcome. Haven't seen you in the chat before. Thanks for the Facebook like. Rose, tell the gang, tell the Riot Squad where you're from. Tell us a little bit about your garden if you'd like to. Are you actively developing your garden now as a habitat garden, as a wildlife haven? Let us know. We always like to find out what new people are doing. Rose, if you are not aware, I'm in Melbourne, in Wurundjeri country. I'm in the northwestern section of the suburbs of Melbourne. The other folk that have been active in the chat this morning, Glenn is in Western Sydney, and Janice, who we have just been talking about pale-headed rosellas with, is in the Gold Coast, on the Gold Coast. What's the correct terminology? In the Gold Coast, on the Gold Coast. And Loz adopted me. Loz adopted me during our New Year's Eve stream, as we at the end of 2023. Okay, just leaving things just open for comment for a little while, and if nobody's got anything to say or a question to ask, we'll wrap up in a few minutes, and I will let you know that later on today I'll be doing a test stream, and it will just be me messing around with all these new features I'm trying to get working. But if you want to join in and give me, if you've got nothing else on, because I'll probably be doing things like watching some other people's YouTubes and bringing in articles, and so it'll be like a bird emergency stream, but without me having any particular aim in mind except to get things working. And I will be trying to do it on all of the platforms, vertical and horizontal. Janice, you're seeing the same thing in your region that I'm seeing down here. The understory's been removed in the parks. Now, many times I've given the rationale for why that is, and if you are new here, like yeah, that's interesting. Like Rose, if you're still here, I did do horticulture, and my major was Parks and Gardens Management, and I graduated at that time when public safety in parks was a big issue, and most of the understory started being removed from parks in the 1990s. Um, at about the same time that lighting, lit car parks and paths were coming in, and while that has been positive, and a lot of people feel much safer using their local parks as a result of that. And in some cases, it's obviously, has been well and truly needed. Um, the downside has been that a lot of the LBJs, little brown jobs, birds uh, like fairy wrens, thornbills, scrub wrens, small honey eaters, have disappeared from suburbs. And Janice further telling us that at the moment her garden is popular for eucalyptus and grevilleas. Yeah, there's a lot of really great winter flowering eucalypts. Do you know which what what are the highlight eucalypts and grevilleas in your garden, Janet? Janice. I shouldn't be distracted, should I, with this little fella so much? But come on, he's eating things on the desk now, which I don't like. We've got the eucalyptus caesia, or cassia, as it's generally commonly pronounced. The gunganu. That's flowering all around my area at the moment. So is eucalyptus macrantha and woodwardii. The ironbark. Also at the moment, we've still got lots of callistemons flowering. Loz, come over. You're upside down, mate. Well done. Yeah, so tell us what the highlights are in your garden. Like which particular species, if you know them, or cultivars, varieties. Loz. You can see why I have not been having Loz on all of the streams recently. He's, I'll have to build him something in here that he can go and sit on and play on that is out of my field of view. Eucalyptus terreticornis, so a good Queensland local. That's good. There's so many grevilleas. We'll have to do a grevillea feature. I'll have to do a video, and maybe we'll play it in one of the streams about that. Okay. All right. If we've got no more questions, I think I'm going to pull the pin in a minute, wrap up, and I will... Oh, no. What have you done, Loz? Come on, Loz. Yeah, he's destroying the joint. I will be back on the Bird Emergency channel later in the day to I'll be happy to take questions and comments and mess around, but it will just be like a testing 1 2 3 kind of stream. But I will show you some interesting things if you're here. So if it was your first time here, I'm Grant. I'm a horticulturist. I'm also a bird nerd. And we do this every Saturday morning, Australian Eastern Standard Time. Although we're getting close to when we'll be saying Eastern Daylight Time. just to talk about gardening, bringing wildlife into your garden. That's the whole point of today, this morning, and I'm happy always to answer questions or just share experiences and your perspectives. Happy to hear your perspectives. We're working on getting everything shipshape. If you like to look at things on your phone, and this is what this afternoon's going to be about, we'll be streaming in vertical format on YouTube on a separate stream and Instagram. So if you prefer the phone, just look out for that. Make sure you are subscribed to the Bird Emergency YouTube channel. You can find that easily, thebirdemergency.com/YouTube. And if you are preferring Instagram, at the Bird Emergency on Instagram, you will find me there. Okay, I am going to pull the pin. Thanks for being with me this morning. I always enjoy those Saturday morning streams, and well, let's hope we can get these vertical things going, and we can. I can start bringing in all the little things I want to do. Thanks, Glenn, for your input again this morning. Thanks, Janice. Who else? Did we have anyone else? No. Thanks to the Twitchers who were with us, even though you're just lurking as normal, but that was great. That was good fun too. Thanks, everyone. See ya. Enjoy your weekend and do something for the critters in your garden. Oh, hang on. Thanks, Janice, for the Facebook like. That always helps, if you it helps the stream and the channel get discovered. A like or a comment or a share all helps. Subscribing to the YouTube channel helps the most. Thanks, everyone. See you later.